2届冬奥会单板滑雪冠军，25岁的体坛巨星肖恩·怀特做客录音现场。
奥运会的
现场展示奥运金牌。
Wow! I hear that your mom actually sent them to dry cleaner, right?
Oh yeah.
他妈把它拿去干洗过，你能相信吗？
与中国青年交流滑板经验，国际冠军慷慨示范。鲁豫有约，说出你的故事，为您呈现一个年轻、勇敢、真实、热情、有无限可能的体坛巨星肖恩·怀特。
他很年轻，但是在国际体坛，他绝对是一颗巨星。很多人常常会把他和泰格伍兹相提并论，说他们都是从很小的时候就显示了超凡的运动天赋，而且极具个人魅力的那种天才型的运动员。在中国，可能他的名字还会让人有一些陌生，但是所有喜欢挑战、喜欢刺激的年轻人一定会记住他和他所从事的运动。一看过他，你们就不会忘记他有一头让人很难忘的飘扬的红头发。他的粉丝们称他叫做“飞翔的红番茄”，他就是肖恩·怀特。来认识一下他。
It's just a really competitive sport, and to keep your tricks private and to keep them a surprise and show up and do something new that's kind of gonna blow some people away would be really nice.
肖恩·怀特，1986年出生于美国加州，6岁开始学习滑雪，9岁开始练习滑板，20岁获得冬奥会单板滑雪金牌。2003年至2005年，连续3年赢得 X Games 单板斜坡赛的冠军。2006年，20岁的他在都灵冬奥会上拿到了第1块奥运金牌。2010温哥华冬奥会，肖恩·怀特蝉联单板滑雪冠军。
欢迎肖恩·怀特上。Thank you. Hi.
你好。
你好。你好。
Brought you a little present.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, yes.
It's so nice of you. Can I take them out?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'll help you.
Thank you. Wow.
These are some really cool new sunglasses.
Thank you. How do I look? 还行吗？
Look California style.
Really? Classic American cool, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then these are in case you ever want to go snowboarding. We brought some goggles. So.
Okay, but I have to learn how to snowboard first.
Ah, that's easy.
Okay. Should I put it like this or like this, right?
Either way, yeah.
Either way?
It goes over, but either way.
I have something for you too. In case you want to pick up Chinese, it's a good way to start.
Thank you very much.
It's my book.
Is this? Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, this looks. Thank you.
Okay.
谢谢.
And this is your first trip to China, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, first time ever.
Okay. So far, have you tried any Chinese food?
I have. I've tried a couple different things. I would think I would mispronounce the names of them, but
just try. It's okay.
yeah. Gosh, we had some Peking duck. I think we had.
烤鸭.
Yeah, 烤鸭.
烤鸭. And
it's funny is my favorite food in the world is Chinese food, but I think it's a little different in the States.
Oh, very different.
Yeah, we have like what you call Panda Express, but I'm happy to be here to experience the real deal, the real thing.
this is the place to be.
Yeah.
To try some Chinese food.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, it's like 2 or 3 days ago, we brought some video of you snowboarding to one of the places that some of the young kids, they like to hang out there. And we showed the video to them.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, rad.
感觉很震惊，
滑得非常好，特牛，相当棒。
你知道他是谁吗？
我不知道他，
不认识，好像看过他视频了。
他是那个 X-Game 的那个世界冠军嘛。
那你猜他现在多大
？30岁吧。
为什么30岁？
玩的好都得10几年吧。
我想问他怎么能坚持下来，因为玩滑板这项运动是一个极限运动嘛，他很容易受伤，而且很累。我想问他，他是什么信念支持他一直继续滑板这项运动
？2010年，年轻的肖恩·怀特来到中国，与中国青年一起体验极限运动的自由和快乐。
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. 刚才很多像你们一样大的年轻人猜他说30岁。They guessed that you were actually in your 30s because they think that it actually takes people that long to get this good.
Yeah.
So they'll be surprised to know they only 24.
Yep, 24.
他只有24岁。I guess that you might be able to snowboard long before you were able to walk, right?
You know, it's funny about me is I started snowboarding and skateboarding when I was 6 years old.
他从6岁开始又滑雪又滑板。
You know, it's one of those things where I feel the most comfortable on a board. I'll do some amazing tricks and then I'll trip walking up the stairs.
Do you have any fears at all?
Yeah, I do. I mean, there's a bit of caution, obviously, that goes into doing new tricks and things like that. But for me, I've grown up doing this sport for so long that I feel so much confidence when I go into a trick or a new move, something like that, that, I don't know, I feel like that positive outlook always helps me actually achieve the trick, you know? It's a overwhelming confidence.
我们有他很多小时候的那些镜头，很可爱，很小开始滑来看。
肖恩的家住在美国加利福尼亚，他有一个哥哥和一个姐姐。节假日的时候，爸爸妈妈喜欢带他们去滑雪。肖恩在6岁的时候就站到了滑板上。因为性格好胜，肖恩在很多运动项目上都不甘心给自己的哥哥差，包括滑雪。这是他用心练习滑雪的主要动力。
Wow.
但是让运动的肖恩并不是一个健壮的孩子，因为他刚出生就被确诊为先天性心脏血管疾病。很小的时候，他就为此动过2次外科手术。
That's you?
Yeah.
哇，我必须要跟你们说，像在1岁的时候就做了非常大的心脏的手术。得这个病的小孩，如果不及时做手术的话，很多人是活不过20岁的。他的那个心脏的血管畸形是说，静脉血和动脉血有可能混在一起，那样是非常非常危险的。他在1岁之前做了2次很大的心脏手术，很厉害吧他？那个是他，才只有1岁。I'm sure you don't have any memories of that period of time because you were so young. You were only like 1 year old.
Yeah. It was something that was really dramatic for my family. You know, I was just born and I had a heart defect of the heart, and you know, we had to go in for surgeries and revisits, and till this day I still have to go in for certain tests and things to check up and make sure everything's working well. You know, I was a baby, so I was this big. You know, my heart must have been this big. So they're fixing it, and you know, the great part about it is I've never been told I couldn't do anything. I was never told that I need to stop or slow down, and you know, here I am today. I could have never imagined I'd be in China and hosting a massive event near the Olympic arena, and it's just amazing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Do you have any scars?
I do have a small scar down my chest, but you know, my favorite thing has been after winning the Olympics and doing such big events like that. I've now been able to I get letters from families and kids, and I actually get to meet families with children that are going through the same you know, same thing I went through at a young age. And you know, I actually had a friend of a friend that his son was going in to get a heart operation similar to mine, and he was terrified. He was so nervous of what was going to happen, and he found out about my heart condition, and my case was actually more severe than his. And you know, after he learned this, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be fine, no big deal." And I was able to, you know, give some hope there, and that's been a very rewarding thing for me.
他的经历可以鼓励很多很多的人，包括他自己，我觉得真的很了不起。Wow. People say that you are a genius.
Go on. I mean, you know, it's funny. I basically started these sports at such a young age. I've developed a part of me that it's an instinct that I feel. You know, when you're doing these flips and spins and you're so high up in the air and there's so much going on that you can't really look around for landmarks. Okay. You know, it's more of a feeling that I have while I'm flipping and spinning. So I can close my eyes sometimes because I still know where I am in the air.
他很小，他的妈妈就带他去滑雪，大概也就是6岁的时候。I know that your mom put you on a snowboard is because she wants to slow you down because you're always so fast when you ski, right?
Well, I mean, you could see I was a bit of a wild kid, always getting into mischief, and when I was skiing, I was just this terror. I was so fast and no one could keep up with me, and my mother always worried. That's why she was shouting in the videos, is, you know, we always had to keep track of where I was going. And so they figured if they put me on a snowboard, I would be falling all the time, and then they could keep up with me. And obviously that didn't work at all.
I hear that you have 2 gold medals with you.
Yeah, I thought I'd come show everyone and
他的那个奥运会的金牌。
There we go.
Wow. That's from, wow.
This is from 2006 in Torino.
好，这好重，这特别特别重。这个是2006年都灵的那个。
This one is just from Vancouver here.
Wow.
So.
这个是真的，这个是刚刚结束的那个温哥华的那个冬奥会的。I hear that your mom actually sent them to dry cleaners, right?
Oh yeah.
他妈把它拿去干洗过，你们能相信吗？ Really?
This medal was my first, and I was so proud. We were taking it everywhere and on talk shows and on things, and the ribbon started to get a little bit of dirt on it, kind of dirty. And one day I came home and I'm like, where's my medal? It's gone. Where did it go? And my mom's like, oh, I took it to the dry cleaner. Don't worry. I'm like, you took my medal? So we go to pick it up, and there it was on the hanger with the plastic on both sides, and yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Wow. 你们就想这里面在里面转。
Yeah.
既然讲到了这个冬奥会的金牌，讲到了奥运会，我们来看一段他在奥运会夺冠的场面来。
这是肖恩的赞助商为他一个人准备的私人滑雪场，只有坐直升飞机才能够到达。在这里，肖恩可以尽情的练习，而这一切都是为了他参加2016年冬奥会做的准备。肖恩也不负众望，在2016年再次夺得了冬奥会单板冠军。
Wow.
直以来，肖恩·怀特被称为单板天才。7岁开始，他就是有赞助商的单板滑雪选手了。13岁成为专业选手，16岁拿到第1块 X Games 的奖牌。19岁那一年，他终于拿到了自己生命中的第1块奥运金牌。
He delivered a clutch performance that has become his trademark and won the gold. I saw the film of you being awarded the medal.
Oh, yeah.
And you look pretty moved, huh?
Yeah, it was just a heavy moment. I mean, your whole family's sitting there, and it's just like so overwhelming.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you thinking at that moment?
You know, I just couldn't believe I was there. You know, I was thinking about all those moments and all those times and everything that I had to get through to be there. You know, I didn't really understand what I had done until I saw my family and I really thought about it and understood what was accomplished, you know. When I was in school, I needed extra help because I was traveling, doing these things, and my school said that my sport wasn't legitimate, so they didn't want to help me out.
Wow.
You know, my parents were taking time off of work to come with me. You know, the sacrifices that were made, so that's why it's so emotional. You get there and you realize how far you've come. And then plus they put your whole family right up front and everyone's crying.
Oh, really?
So then you have to cry because it's contagious.
Were you considered to be a cool kid when you were at school?
I was pretty cool.
Okay.
No, I don't know. When I first started my sports, there weren't other kids my age doing that. I was the only one. Now you see tons and tons of friends and families and people starting at a young age, but I was the only one in the beginning. So it was a bit of a strange thing for me at first, but I slowly grew into my own.
Did you have a lot of friends your age when you were at school?
I had a lot of friends that were all my age at home, and then I turned 12 years old and I started traveling. And that's when, you know, I didn't really see those friends as much, and I had all new friends from the world of snowboarding, and they were all in their mid-20s. So I was around 12 years old trying to relate with these 20-year-olds, and there's a bit of a disconnect. So.
Was it hard?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I would win the competition, and I wouldn't be able to get the award because it was at a bar. And you had to be 21 to go into the bar.
Wow.
And I couldn't get, I was like, I won the contest, you know what I mean? But it was at a bar, so I had to stand outside with the trophy. Yeah. Yeah.
刚刚讲到的他比赛赢的那一面，要知道他在赢的背后，他付出了很多，很多时候受的那个伤是我们没办法想象的。我们来看一段，可能会有一些让你觉得哇，怎么会这么难？来看看。
1997年，一件可怕的事情发生在肖恩的身上，很多人都以为他的滑板生涯就此结束。
It was the worst thing in our lives, I think it was.
Shawn was 11 and performing at this exhibition with a skateboarder twice his age and almost twice his size.
Shawn lost his timing and came in, and they just hit. Shawn was just limp. He was out for quite a while.
And what did you do?
I launched over a 8-foot fence, was it?
There's 8-foot chain link fence.
We both flew over
All of a sudden, we found ourselves on the ramp, and then...
Shawn, are you all right? It's your dad, Shawn.
It was the scariest moment of my life. It was. I thought we lost him.
Shawn suffered a fractured skull and broken bones and told his mother he wanted to call it quits.
I think deep down he was afraid, but I kept taking him to the Y.
You kept taking him to the Y.
Yeah, you know, he's like...
You didn't lock him up in a room.
God, no.
这是刚才我们讲的那个两个人撞到一起的那个。It was that serious. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. You know, since then, I've had maybe I knock on wood. I've had maybe two injuries, 3 injuries.
Okay.
My whole career. So that's pretty great. I mean, that was a very bad accident that
was
happened.
The worst, right?
Yeah, and that's why I say it's an accident, because it wasn't something that you know, I was standing there and I'm like, I'm going to try this trick, and then got seriously injured. This was more of like a show that we were demonstrating, and, you know, this just happened to happen.
You had fractured skull?
Yeah, I was like 11, so I was small, and he was like
那个人很高很大
way bigger than me. He was in his 20s, and
那个人20多岁了
you know, so I broke my foot, I broke my hand, and you know, I had some black eyes, and you know, the funny part of the story is that I went to school, and I don't know if what tradition is out here, but every school year there's a picture day where they take photos of the whole school. And I show up with black eyes and the cast, and so my memory is this photo that's on my wall, and it's you know, the class is very dressed up, looking very nice, and there I am in the corner all beat up. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
But how did you feel when your mom told you that you need to go back to training after that accident?
She didn't actually tell me to go back. She just knew that you know, at that point I needed a little encouragement, you know, and I was very down on myself, and had what happened, because I had to be in the house all day, and I'm a very active kid, so I didn't want to be in the house, and you know, it was one of those things where I wasn't really into skateboarding as much, and she just kept bringing me there just in case, you know, and that's been the best part about my family, is, you know, there to encourage but never to push, you know. So. You know, and I thank her every day. It's been a great part of my life, skateboarding. So I definitely, I'm glad I got back into it.
Okay, so your mom, she seems to be so cool, even though when she saw you getting injured.
She gets nervous, you know, and as a mom, it's even more nerve-wracking for her, because she saw me when I was a baby in, you know, the hospital and those hard times, and now it's like, I don't want to let him go do these things, but she knows that I'm good at them, and it's what I'm all about now. And you know, it's definitely not so much a daredevil sport as an actual sport. It's an athletic ability that I have in order to go do these sports. It's not that we're crazy and we're doing these things. You know, it's an Olympic sport. It's very official, and you know, it's just funny because everybody at the audience always is with the cameras are looking for my family, looking for my mom, and I know exactly where she is. She's way down in the lodge, not watching. Yeah, because she's nervous. But you know, my dad's there, and he's the one that's always got the strong support.
他很幸运，他的父母对他特别的鼓励和支持。I know that you were always very competitive with your brother, right?
Yeah, older brother.
So that's a very big motivator for you to win him, to be faster than him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just part of the family. He was the older brother. He was always doing the cooler things, and I had to do what he was doing. And at a certain point, he began to snowboard, and that really tipped everything inside of me that was like, I have to do what he's doing. So I started to snowboard. And, you know, to be honest, after that, my sister then started, then my dad, then my mom, and it really became a family sport. And so, you know, instead of spending a lot of money during the holidays on gifts and things, we would take all the money and we would use it toward a trip to the mountains where we could all be together. You know, there's so many families nowadays that they don't have a lot in common, you know, and this was the thing that brought my family together, is we would go ride together and enjoy our time.
他们全家都很喜欢滑雪。刚才看到这是他们全家。
Yes, my mom Kathy. I'm below her, and then my brother Jesse in the middle, my dad Roger to the side, and then below is my sister Carrie.
Okay, 这他们全家。Were your family well off at that time?
No, you know, we were around middle class, I guess you could say, but you know, we were a family of 5 doing snowboarding sports, and that was very expensive to get to the mountains, to buy the lift tickets, to do certain things. So that's why I was saying we would save up the money and we would really go out and spend it on lift tickets and things like that. But you know, my parents ended up taking a lot of money out on a loan on their home in order to pay for my snowboarding. And you know, the one thing that my parents, and I thank them till this day, is that they just believed in me. They believed that I would be sitting here today. You know, they believed that I would be a great inspiration in the sport. And the surprising thing is that at the time, there was no Olympics, there was no X Games, there was not the big events and the big money in it. And so that's an amazing thing. I hope I can do that for, you know, my kids.
Wow. 所以父母都是这样的。
却一直非常支持孩子们的爱好。当年，他们经常开着房车带肖恩去滑雪，为了省钱就住在车里，条件有些艰苦。就是这样的支持和鼓励，成就了今天的冬奥会滑雪冠军肖恩·怀特。
刚才我们看到一辆那种白色的那种旅行房车，这当年他的父母就会开车带着他们几个人去滑雪的那个，但那辆车他们已经不在了。It's a shame that you don't have that van anymore.
I know. Well, that was one of those things where we would all camp out in the van because we couldn't afford the cost of snowboarding, and we just made it work any which way. But the fun part now is like I feel. I feel so grateful when I do get a nice hotel room, when I do get a good meal, and I do get these things because, we started at the bottom and made our way up. But, I love that van. It was like the best time of my life for sure, being with the family, camping, and doing these things. That's funny, you see the family photo. I'm the only redhead. There's blonde and brunette. I'm the random child, I guess.
So that's why you're called the Flying Tomato.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of random nicknames. Have you heard of Led Zeppelin, the band? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been called the Red Zeppelin. There's a bunch of funny. Do you know the Muppets?
Yeah.
There's the drummer, the animal, and I guess I resemble him because of all the hair. But it's pretty good ones. There's been a lot of them.
还有好多外号，大家最熟悉的就是那个叫飞翔的西红柿，因为他头发是红色的。
It's a lot of red hair nicknames. Yeah.
Well, being successful means that you have lots of fans. You always get noticed when you walk on the streets. Means you can make lots of money. Mm-hmm. Do all those things mean anything to you?
I don't know. The money and the fame and the autographs and those things. It's just kind of part of what happens. And a lot of people can let that go to their head, and they think that they're maybe cooler than everyone else. But not me. I've always felt very humbled by fans and very encouraged.
Okay.
Where you take the Olympics. There was so much pressure on me to win, not only by everyone in the U.S. but my friends and family and the sponsors that pay me and everybody that was counting on me. I used that as a motivational thing. I was like, if everyone believes in me, there's got to be a reason why I can go out and do this. And so I used it as a positive motivator for myself instead of something to weigh me down.
I hear a story. I wonder if it's true.
Yeah.
Some people say that when you were, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 years old, you make a lot of money at that time. And once you actually carry so much cash, like $30,000 or $40,000 US.
Yeah.
And you went to the airport and you got stopped because you had so much cash on you. Is that true?
Well, a lot of times when you're at these events, they give you cash. Yeah, and at the competition, they gave me a briefcase full of money that I won a contest with, and it was definitely strange to see a kid with all that money. But
how old were you?
I was probably 12, probably younger.
Wow.
I think. Yeah, 12 or 13. I became pro at 13, so I think it was around 13 I started making money in the sport. And, it would be these amazing events. I'd win, $50,000 in a car or something. And it never really meant anything to me. It would just go to the bank, and I've always been a very simple person. So, I always just kind of think of it as it's there in case I need it at some point. And I've used it to... I bought my mom a car, I bought my sister a car, my family lives in my home, one of my homes. It's definitely something I use for my family and for my own benefit in certain ways. But it's definitely surreal, to come from a family that doesn't have that and then to all of a sudden have a lot of money coming in. It's been, actually, I'll be honest, it's been very hard to get a grasp of that.
中国人觉得这样的人就是一个孝子。Wow. How many cars do you have?
I have a couple.
I hear that you have 2 Lamborghini.
I have a Lamborghini, and then I bought a classic car.
But I hear that you crashed one of them.
I did crash one.
他撞了一辆兰博基尼。Really? How bad?
Tree came out of nowhere. I was making.
那个树突然就出现了。
I was making this turn, and I had just purchased the car, so I was very excited. And I'd been on a trip, and I got home, and it was maybe, just turning dark, and I was going too fast to meet my friends at dinner, and I just spun and hit a tree. And, yeah, it was bad. It was pretty bad. I had to get a new one.
Wow. And the first car, just like that?
Yeah, we have insurance and certain things. I was luckily able to afford a new one, but it was definitely a very hard learning curve.
Wow,
I felt bad for how much gasoline I would be burning in the car. So when I purchased my mom a car, I bought her a hybrid car, so I wouldn't feel as bad.
That's pretty good.
So it evens out.
That's pretty good. 他在生活中是个特别时尚的人，然后有很多喜欢他的粉丝，他也上过很多那种时尚的杂志。我们来看看。
肖恩·怀特除了他俊朗的外表和精湛的技术，还具有成为一个偶像应该具备的其他条件。如今的肖恩·怀特拥有自己的服装合作品牌，以自己名字命名的电子游戏。肖恩·怀特帅气的脸在很多地方频繁出现，成为一代美国人心中的偶像。
Put your hands together for Shaun White.
Usually reserved for big-time athletes in far more mainstream sports.
虽然现在的肖恩年收入1000万美金，已经拥有了第2辆兰博基尼跑车，但他仍旧是一个25岁的大男孩，爱玩爱笑，喜欢跟朋友们聚会的欢乐热闹。
Wow, that one's cool.
That was the cover of Rolling Stone magazine.
那是那个滚石杂志的封面，好像还没有什么不是音乐人的上过封面，这是他。
Yeah.
Wow.
So me being a big rock and roll fan, that was great.
Were you excited to be on the cover of Rolling Stone?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I've only seen movies and rock stars and all these things, and to be there, I think I'm one of maybe 2 other athletes to ever be on the cover, and I've been on there twice now, so it's a great honor.
Wow.
Yeah. So we did some pretty crazy photos.
Wow.
I had some flag pants.
Well, do you have a girlfriend now?
I do not. I was.
Come on! I don't believe you.
No, I was seeing a girl for a little bit, but it's difficult because I'm always traveling.
Okay.
So, when you do meet people and certain situations at a get together, an event or something like that, I have to be very open. You have to be a very open person to meet new people. Otherwise, you don't get a chance to meet too many. So.
Well. What kind of qualities does a girl need to have in order to become your girlfriend?
I don't know. It depends. I don't really have a type. I'm not the guy that has a certain type of girl.
他说他没有一个特别的类型。
I just like girls that are confident, girls that definitely, know what they're there for and have a good time. And I think what's hard is to actually meet a nice girl, because you get in a situation where you meet people because of, they recognize you on television and things, and they act a certain way because they assume that people treat you differently.
Okay.
So if you didn't ever know me or meet me, you would assume maybe I'm very full of myself because of all the awards and all the achievements and things, and then so they'll act a certain way instead of just being who they are. So I find it's been a bit strange. I mean, I've dated around and met some girls, but nothing serious yet. So
he's available.
I did meet Miss China at dinner last night.
中国小姐 who?
Miss China.
Miss China?
Which crowned Miss China.
Do you like her?
She was cute. Yeah, she's coming to the event, so we'll see.
Oh, 她喜欢中国小姐。
She should also come.
Oh, okay. I know.
I feel bad. She was introduced to me as Miss China, so I didn't get her actual name.
那我知道今天现场有几个喜欢滑板的人，你们有什么问题想问上吗？
你好，我想问一下，就是因为我刚开始玩这个不久，就是时不时的就拽下来，
时不时就拽下来，他也老拽，没问题。
但是这有没有什么好办法可以稍微避免一下呢？
He's
What do you say?
He's a beginner, okay, and he wants to know if there's any way to avoid getting hurt or getting injured.
In skateboarding or snowboarding?
Skateboarding.
Okay. You know, I've always found that everything to do with balance, it always comes from the core. Like it always comes from inside. So
平衡你要从这儿，
you know,
从这儿找平衡。
I find that like if I'm strong here, I'm very balanced, and I always keep my center over the board. You know, when I'm skateboarding, I take my front foot and I cover the 2 screws on the skateboard with the front foot, and then I put this foot on the tail, and it always keeps me centered. So that's the best way to like keep in balance while you're moving around.
你是怎么站的在板上？
There you go.
然后就
I can
摔
show
了。
him if he wants. Yeah. That's good. But practice makes perfect. So.
说你只有熟能生巧，没有别的办法。你再带点什么护膝、护肘、护腕、护臀、还有头盔什么的。只有他就刚刚说熟能生巧 ，practice makes perfect， 就是这样。还有什么你们？什么叫手抓吧？你可以示范给他看，让他给你做一些指导。我觉得。
Oh.
D 不行，那算了，谢谢。It's not hard enough.
Oh yeah.
No.
I have the wrong shoes, but I could show you something if you want.
他说他可以给你试一下。但他的鞋不太行。
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
这 D 不行啊。
So right here, right? I'm gonna do a spin and come back. So. Yeah.
必须是一个，好，你千万别摔到啊。
Oh, yeah. Nice work.
哇。
Yeah.
你让他给你签个字吧，在板上。你有笔吗？
Oh, of course.
He wants
yes.
to have your autograph. Is okay?
Right here. All right. Perfect. Yeah, no problem. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
回去好好练，千万别受伤啊！当心啊！
you like it,
谢谢你们。哇 You're so nice to your fans.
They're the best.
谢谢你们要谢谢上。
Thank you.
要好好练习回去。
要收藏起来了。
Okay, they're going to keep it forever.
All right. 谢谢。
Wow, you pick up some Chinese pretty good. 谢谢你好。
That's all I got, though.
You
I'm
can
trying.
say 谢谢你好 oh something.
Now I have your book. I can learn more.
Okay, and you should say 你很漂亮。
你很漂亮。亮。
Yeah.
亮。
You
你好
should
漂
say
亮。
that. You should say that to a girl means you are very pretty.
Ooh, that's good to know.
Yeah. Okay, so
你很漂亮。
你很漂亮。
I'm gonna write it down for later. I'll have it on my hand written.
And you can say 你好，你很漂亮，谢谢。
谢谢。Full on sentence, yeah.
Well, do you think after this trip you will come back to China often?
Yeah, I mean it's so funny because we have a lot of product that's made in China, and so I was supposed to come out here many times before, but something always came up, and you know, I had heard stories from my brother about how amazing it was out here, and to finally be here and see how nice and welcoming everybody is, I'm definitely coming back. Yeah. Plus, I love Chinese food.
Oh.
You remember this?
Maybe you'll meet someone here.
You never know.
Wow. 今天特别谢谢 Sean. 哇，这两个 How many gold medals do you have so far?
2 from the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. There's
At
quite a
least
bit.
10. At least 10 from the
X Games,
right?
yeah.
At least 10.
You know, what's fun is I compete in winter and summer, so I'm collecting a lot of gold medals all the time.
Do you have a wall full of gold medals?
You know, it's funny because I don't really display a lot of the trophies.
You should.
I know I'm very proud of these, so I'm gonna have a place for them at my home. But you know, I don't need a shrine to myself, so I'll definitely think about it. You look good with one of those.
Yeah, I know.
You do.
他说你看起来特别好看，戴着。我说当然，谁戴着都好看。
Yeah.
Wow, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's on the neck.
这挺沉的。It's okay, I'll deal with that.
Yeah, right. They love me at the airport through security. They X-ray and they're like, "What do you got in there?" And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then you sit and watch their faces light up when they're like, "What?" You know, because I don't look like the typical Olympic athlete.
Wow.
It's kind of like when I was the child with a lot of money. People don't expect it.
对，因为他看起来不太像一个你想象当中那个奥运冠军的那个样子，但是他就是奥运冠军，经历这么多，然后取得了这么多的成绩，我觉得会带给我们很多的震动、感动，然后会有很多的启迪吧。你们今天是不是？回去会好好练，但一定要注意安全，千万注意安全。你真的多买点那个保护你的那个东西。希望你们今天听到了这样的故事以后，都能够感受到一点力量，就是梦想其实可以有大有小，但是我觉得每个人的梦想都很了不起，追寻自己的那个梦想，从中感受到快乐特别重要。所以为此我们要再一次谢谢肖恩·怀特。哦
Thank you.
In Chinese, we call you 肖恩·怀特. That's your name.
That's my name?
Yeah. Sean White, 肖恩·怀特.
Shaun White, who?
Yeah.
I have a lot of practice now for my new words.
所以我们今天再一次谢谢肖恩·怀特，谢谢他带给我们这么让人感动的故事。Thank you, Sean.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.